For more insight, we bring in Camron Dowlatshahi. He is an attorney that specializes in entertainment and personal injury cases. Thank you so much for joining us, and good morning to you. Sean Diddy Combs previously denied Cassie Ventura's accusations of abuse before settling very quickly that lawsuit in November. But in an apology released Sunday, he said his actions in the video were, quote, inexcusable. So what legal opportunities could this give Ventura, if anything, or if any at all? And what does this mean for other people who have taken action?
Well, let me first just say this. I mean, as we just saw, it is absolutely disturbing. You know, she's walking away from him. She doesn't even have time to put her shoes on. And he grabs her, throws her down, kicks her multiple times, is dragging her back to the room. I mean, I have a loving mother, I have a sister. It's heartbreaking to watch. Unfortunately, the statute of limitations has passed on that act. Domestic violence is 5 years, felony assault is 3 years. But this could be what we call Me Too evidence to show Diddy's propensity for violence. And I'm sure that the plaintiffs in the other cases are now looking to settle those cases, or at least Diddy should be, because there's going to be more. I wouldn't doubt it if there's more videos, and if this video itself could impact a jury in those cases.
Because let's be honest, I mean, in the court of public opinion, which is influential but not ultimately what counts, most people look at a video like that and think to themselves, oh, wow, okay, if you're capable of that, then I believe almost every other accusation people have made against you, because now I've seen it for myself, and you've admitted to it, and an apology that some found a little deficient. But okay, so if I am another plaintiff against Diddy, what are my lawyers doing today in light of this tape? Because now it seems the trump card has been played. He's admitted to it. Right. He has to either write a lot of checks to make things go away, because there's no way I would imagine he can survive a trial now that this footage is out there.
I would think so. I completely agree with that. The plaintiffs in these cases, it's a credibility determination. And Diddy's credibility is completely gone. He vehemently denied these allegations. He said everyone was looking for a payday. And then now this video comes out, it's clear as day. It's absolutely disgusting. And then now he comes out with this, apology. Looks like he's in a vacation home or, something. In a credibility determination case, the plaintiffs are going to prevail over Diddy every time.
And real quick, are these remaining cases about abuse or about the sex trafficking allegations, or all the above?
It's a bit of all the above. The federal investigation is about sex trafficking specifically, so this assault video isn't necessarily relevant to that, although I'm sure it'll embolden prosecutors to search high and wide for camera footage from other hotels. Those other cases do touch on elements of sex trafficking. There is a minor who, well, she's not a minor now, but she sued Diddy for acts that he committed against her when she was 17 and flew her out. The other ones are about violence against women. And this certainly shows that.
So 2 months ago, when Diddy's homes were raided, and if that federal sex trafficking investigation, one of the things I remember reading about was that police there, they were obtaining digital evidence, and it speaks to what you're saying. There's probably more video out there of some act. What are some of the charges that he could face, whether it's sexual acts on camera or other abuse that they eventually find out he paid to obtain, from a hotel, let's say? What other charges are we talking about here?
All the above, a potential RICO charge, racketeering, sex trafficking. There's a whole host of things that I'm sure federal prosecutors are taking their time. I'm sure they'll take another few weeks or a month or so to comb through all the evidence and make sure they have an airtight case before they bring anything forward against Diddy. Because when they do, they want to make sure they get a conviction.
And is it fair to say that he may make some of these legal troubles go away, because in those individual cases, he could write a big check to settle those cases? You're not going to write a check to the feds to make the sex trafficking stuff go away. So that's going to proceed. Is that fair?
Absolutely. Civil cases, those are just about money. The federal prosecutors aren't going away. And there's a reason the Department of Homeland Security got involved. This is very, very serious. So this is just the beginning for Diddy. And if I were him, I would quickly settle those other cases. I would stop going and claiming everyone's looking for a payday because you are in the wrong. There's now a video of you. You have lost all of your credibility. And pray and hope that there's no evidence that comes up in the federal investigation.
And just real quick, I got to ask. I know most people take the money and run. Most would do that. I understand. And certainly he has the money to write all those checks. Is it really justice, though? He happens to be wealthy and can in a position to write those checks. But one of those victims said, no, I don't want your money.
No.
I want justice. We're going to trial. They could do that. They could make that move. They probably won't, but they could. And that would seem a fuller measure of accountability and justice than a rich guy writing the check.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, it's still about the check, though. The trial just awards money to that victim. So there is no justice, for those acts. Unfortunately, our system compensates victims monetarily, but a trial would certainly be public. It would put Diddy on the stand. So there's a different form of justice, and the amount of money typically that you're able to garner through a trial is much higher than a settlement.
Interesting.
That's interesting calculation.
And really quick before we let you go, when I was looking through comments, after this video was released, there was so much frustration from people asking, okay, well, who saw this video at the hotel? Why aren't they being held accountable? As things progress and as these charges get tacked on, could we see the situation where people in his inner circle are now being held accountable as well? People that may have crossed paths, a driver, an assistant, people, people like that. Could we possibly see something like that happen?
Absolutely. I mentioned that RICO charge, that racketeering charge. There could be aiding and abetting charges. We don't know the involvement. Already his purported drug mule was arrested. So again, this is just the beginning. I think there's going to be more and more evidence that comes out and more charges. And, we're going to hear more about this, unfortunately. So this minute-and-a-half apology is not doing anything.
And as we've seen with other high-profile men in this country, as authorities tighten the vice, people start to sing.
Things get hot.
And fend for themselves. Yeah.
That's right.
All right, Camron, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.